sensitivity guru. And today I'm here with Marla Press. And I'm so excited to introduce her to everybody. And some of you know her and some of you don't. So this is like a perfect platform to do this on. And I'm so excited. She is a public speaking coach. And let me actually just read the little snippets because what she wrote is actually better than what I can say. But Marla Press is the founder of Speakers on Fire Academy. She is a public speaking coach, life coach, and an art of presence trainer. I'm going to ask more about that in a minute. She helps you wow your audience and connect with them so you can magnetically attract more clients and wealth. So important. Marla's on a mission to help people, many people as possible, to speak up, be heard, and speak so people actually listen. I think that's really, really important. She offers elite speaking programs, boot camps, one-on-one coaching. She's from the beginner to the expert. You can gain a wealth of knowledge from Marla. So thank you, Marla, for being here. Thank you for what you do. And first question, because I wanted to go back to it. What is an art of presence trainer?
Great question. And thanks for speaking with me today, Nikki. I love that you've got this gorgeous blue sky behind you. I know the wind is picking up a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. But you just look like a star there with the sunglasses and the bright sun on your face. My goodness, you're just shining bright today.
The world is my office today.
As
The world is my
always, yes,
office. And the
always
world is
shining.
beautiful.
There you go. I love that. The world is my office. I love that. Oh my God, that's so great. So the art of presence started out as the art of feminine presence,
Oh, yes.
which is amazing. And now we include men. So it's the art of masculine presence, the art of feminine presence, and most of it is the same. So there's a little tweaking that happens between men and women, but it's mostly the same. It's about presence. It's a lot of psychology. It's also a lot of energy work. And that's what makes it so effective. I am so all about that. I was a life coach for many years, and I realized people don't transform by talking about things. They transform by experiencing things and going through this internal energetic process. And then it's like magic. So I love doing this. I'm highly certified at the highest level to teach the art of presence. And I bring that into my public speaking coaching because it's really everything. To be a magnetic speaker, you want to have presence and you want to master your energy.
That's so powerful. So many people talk about like wanting to speak, or I actually had this experience myself, like wanting to speak, but being super nervous. And
Mm.
like just the experience of it, I saw someone else do the same thing. I went to a speaking thing and you could see the nerves. You could see the nerves in the person. It made me like disconnect. And I was like, you know what? I've done that with my exact thing. Like, even though I know what I'm talking about, because I'm so nervous, people can feel that energy and they're like, she obviously doesn't know what she's talking about. Or she just doesn't, she's not connected. It just doesn't feel as authentic if you're not connected with the energy. So I love that you have the presence and the energy behind it, because the more powerful you are and the more energetically you are present, the more your message is actually heard.
That is so true. And there's so many things that you mentioned there. So I'll see if I can touch on a few of them because that was a lot, Nikki. Oh my gosh. So yeah, people, communication's only 10% the words you say. It's 20% your tone of voice, and it's a whopping 70% your energy. And your energy is your confidence, your passion, your body language, your facial expressions. And it's this big thing that we call energy that's kind of hard to understand. You kind of can't explain it in words so well, but I mean, we're all used to, at least subconsciously, if not consciously, constantly, every day, every minute, responding to people's energy. So I give the example of, you can meet somebody somewhere and they look okay and they're not saying anything too weird, but you just get this feeling that you don't trust them, or worse, that they're creepy and you don't want to be around them at all.
That's
And
the
then
worst. That's the worst.
that's the worst. Creepy is the worst. So you don't want that. And then on the other hand, and you can't explain it in words necessarily, why you get this feeling from that person. Again, it's not what they're saying. And then on the positive side, maybe you met your spouse this way or your best friend, and you meet somebody and you're just magnetically attracted to them. You feel good around them. You want more of them. You want to get to know them. And it's not like they look the best in the world. It's not like they're saying perfect things. It's this energy that you connect with that resonates, and then you're just drawn in. And so that's what
Oh,
I teach
yes.
speakers to do, is have that energy in addition to the confidence and all the other things, the presence that you talked about. So that's so important. And the way you get into this presence is not by thinking about it. And that's why a lot of speakers get nervous, and you can see it, is because all their energy's up here. So they get a lump in their throat.
Ah,
They
yep.
get a red
Yep.
face sometimes, a red chest. You've seen that. People actually, their chest turns red. It's because all the energy's up here. And so when you learn how to bring the energy into your full body instead of having it stuck in your critical mind and oh my gosh, our minds are so full of information that we don't connect with people when we're just talking from up here. When we bring it down into our body, we're more authentic, we're more magnetic, and we connect to people way better.
Ooh, that makes so much sense. Yeah, when I've been really nervous, when about to, I'm stuck in my head. Like that. That
Yeah,
speaks volumes. Like, oh, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna screw this up for blah blah blah. Yeah, that I'm
yes,
totally in my head and not
yeah.
in my body at all. And it's that, I want to say, itty bitty shitty committee. This thing that's in your head that tells you you're not doing things right. Or,
Exactly,
oh
exactly.
my
And we
gosh.
all have that voice, but some of us have a louder voice than others. And then there's the positive voice, but we have to choose what we want to listen to. And
Yes.
it's,
Yes.
again, when you get out of this crowded place and get into your full body, you have to experience it. So in my master class that I'll tell you about this coming up, we actually go through that exercise. So you do get to experience it, because talking about it, like I said, it's a little woo woo, but I make it very practical, and people change. We speak, we go through the exercise, we speak again, and everybody witnesses a big change immediately.
Wow. Yeah, just kind of getting into your body. That's so powerful. So you lead it to this master class. So is there any like tips that you can give that kind of give people kind of things that you either teach there or things that kind of lead up to get into your master class, or kind of little tips like that?
Yeah, there's so many, but we only have a little bit of time. But some of the things
Yes.
are, confidence. Just know that when you don't have confidence, like you were saying earlier, your audience doesn't have confidence in you when you don't have confidence in yourself. So it's really important to get that confidence, and it's partly through, putting yourself out there in practice. But in my opinion, if you practice the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same thing pretty much over and over again. So learn new
Yes, that's what they
techniques.
say. Practice makes perfect. No, no, no. I had a coach that told me practice makes permanent. Practice doesn't make perfect, because if you're
Exactly.
practicing wrong, it's just going to make you do it wrong permanently and not perfectly. So, yes.
Exactly. My sentiment exactly. So, learning new techniques, and there's so many. Besides, the energy piece is where I always start with clients because it's the most important. But then we talk about, your material. For example, a big mistake speakers make is they try to memorize their speech. Worse yet, they have a
Ooh,
teleprompter
yeah.
and they try to
Yeah.
read their speech. Don't
I've
ever
done
do that.
the
But
reading.
just
It is,
memorizing it.
yeah. It
We
doesn't work
know
well.
you're
It
reading
doesn't work
it.
well.
We
Yeah, it
do.
doesn't.
We
You can
know you're
see
reading.
there is no authenticity. I know a coach. I was on a what it was. It was a mastermind with Suzanne Evans, and she talked about like a 1 minute talk, and everyone was looking at their notes, and she's like, "Don't look at your notes." She's like, "I can tell you're not authentic. It doesn't sound good. Like, just go off the cuff, and if you mess it up, that's okay. Like, at least you're authentically messing it up, not
Yes.
inauthentically reading it, because you disconnect if you read."
Yes, absolutely. So you disconnect right away if someone's reading it, but most people aren't reading it. But what they do often is they memorize it. And so their brain is almost seeing it on the page or the computer screen in front of them in their mind. And it still comes off as somewhat robotic. And then what happens is people freak out because they're so afraid they're going to forget a line or mess something up. And then that energy comes through also. So instead, I recommend, yeah, you have to prepare. You have to know your message, but then know that you know it and have confidence in yourself. Yes, let go that it has to be perfect. Let go that it has to sound like how you wrote it. And I totally get that. I had to struggle with that myself because I love to write. And what I write, like you said in the very beginning, what I write is so much better than what I speak. But I have to let go of that, which I finally learned how to do. Let go, because then it doesn't sound as authentic and it's not as joyful also. And as a speaker, you want to have a conversation with people and make it natural and make it authentic. And it's, no one knows what you wrote.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, they only know what they're hearing, and if they're
Yeah.
hearing miswords or whatever, yeah, it, you just sound inauthentic if you're not. If you're thinking about the you missed a sentence in your speech, like I forgot that, it's gonna mess the whole thing up. Like I've definitely heard people speak, and I've heard that, but you don't really hear that. It's like a subconscious. You're just like, I don't think I want to continue watching this person, or I don't think they have what I want, when they could be like your perfect person, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the energy with which you deliver the speech that is so much more important than the words you say. And people need to really get that. Yeah. And then, yeah, since they don't know what you were going to say, whatever you say is going to be wonderful, because it's, you know your message, you believe in it, you have the passion, you have the body language to match it, it's congruent. And then you open up a conversation, and maybe you take it somewhere new, because you get from the audience that they would rather hear this than that. And a good speaker knows
Ooh,
how to read
yeah,
the audience. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So how do you, without like obviously memorizing it, or how do you get more confidence as a speaker?
yeah. So that's a great question. And again, so some of it comes from when you're in your body. And I not only just say, like someone asked me who does a lot of energy work, but it's different than what I do. She said, well, do you just focus on your breathing? No, not at all. You literally learn how to connect with the essence of who you are inside your body. It's not just about,
Ooh.
yeah, it's not like
Mm.
a meditation necessarily. It's really totally connecting to the essence of who you are. And what happens when you do that is you're more authentic, you connect more to the audience, but also the content changes. It becomes more connecting. It becomes more about the other person and not about yourself. When you're in your head, it's I help this and I do this. When you're in the essence, you tend to just naturally be more about the other person or your audience in general. And it becomes more emotional content too, which is really important. We don't want just facts, right? We want this
Yeah.
this passionate emotional content, and that automatically comes out when you get in this space.
Huh.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
other
because
way to have, yeah, go
people
ahead.
connect with emotion more than, I mean, that my previous life is very bullet point, here's the facts and here's all this stuff, and then people are like, yeah, I needed a fire hose. I mean, it felt like I was drinking from a fire hose. Got lots of notes, but they didn't feel like they didn't connect really, and
Yeah.
that's powerful. So hearing, essentially speaking to what they want, not necessarily the bullet points that you think they need to learn, which
Right.
I've definitely improved in my speaking. Definitely still polishing, if I'm going to be
Yeah, so
honest
I'll
with
talk a
myself.
little bit
But
more about confidence in a second, but that's another really important point you brought up, that, it used to be, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, that people couldn't get the information you had just anywhere, and so it was important to give information. Not anymore. People can get information in so many
that's
places.
so
There's
true.
so many resources. And, COVID kind of changed a lot too, and going online changed a lot. People crave connection. And so when you
Oh yeah,
deliver,
and
it's
being
more important.
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
much more important than giving the information, even though, of course, you want to have some good teaching points and some value, and, give them, some value so that they feel like they really learned something. But just as important, if not more important, is to give them an experience and a connection, because we crave that these days. And it used to be you would never tell your personal story in speaking, right? That was,
Ah,
nobody cared, or it just wasn't
yeah,
professional. Now
yeah,
you have to tell your personal story, because people want that vulnerability. They want that connection. They want to know you're a human, again, because we're online so much that it really, and even in person, people now want to hear about you, so they connect with you and want to work with you. And
yeah. That's what they always say. People do business with people they know, like, and trust, and they don't know you unless you tell your story.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's everything's so online. That's the one thing you mentioned online before. Um, I did so much coaching and training on Zoom before COVID. Now after COVID, it's like, yes, everyone already knows how to do it. I don't have to train everybody because, as I
Right.
mentioned, my business is world. Like, I do worldwide stuff, so a lot of what I do is online. And before, it was half the coaching session would be training people how to use Zoom.
Yeah, that is so true. I know. Yeah, now that there's not, you could barely find a person who doesn't know how to use Zoom.
It's
But
great. It's
yeah,
great.
now
I
they're Zooming
appreciate
their
that.
families and everything else, right? It's not even just about business, but people are just Zooming all over the place. But
Yes. But
yeah,
you were going to
so
go back to confidence
yeah, back to
before I
confidence.
got
So
you off.
no, I mean, you're bringing up so many good points that I just want to run with all of it. But yeah, so confidence is partly learning the good techniques, as we mentioned, but it's also a mindset. And so when I work with clients in my boot camps, I teach speaker boot camps, and I also do one-on-one coaching. And a lot of it, we do these, again, exercises and visualizations to help you unhook from your past experiences. Because a lot of us, some of it's even childhood, and we don't go in, like, I don't even need to hear your story. I take people through a process where they imagine that story, and then they can change it so it has a positive outcome, and they unhook from any of the self-doubt, from any of the past experiences. And it could be last time you were on a stage, or it could be when you were a kid and you were told your voice doesn't matter, be quiet, don't speak up, I don't like what you say, you're too much, all those messages that we got either from our teachers, our parents, and sometimes our peers. And they stick with us, even, subconsciously to some degree. And certainly if we've had past experiences where the speaking didn't go so well. And,
Yeah.
that can be any type of speaking. It doesn't have to be on a big stage. Not all my clients want to be on a big stage. Some of them, it's more just interacting one-on-one with potential clients, or, how they work with their clients they already have. And some of it's personal, because everything I teach can work in every personal relationship.
So you can talk with your family better at Thanksgiving and not get into arguments and things. Is that
Exactly.
true?
Oh my gosh, I have great ways to overcome that. It's so powerful. Yes, I love this stuff.
Awesome. Well, you got
Absolutely.
me excited. You're doing something soon? Like, please tell me you are.
This Friday I am. And yeah, so now for your Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever celebration you have coming up with your family, yes, I will teach you how to, you know, disentangle from them. You disentangle your energy. And again, I'll make it very, very practical. You don't have to know energy work. It's not, Reiki. It's not anything that's, hard to understand at all. I make it very practical. But yeah, disentangle from them, have your own space, have your energy, because there's the internal energy we talked a lot about with the essence of who you are in your lower abdomen and in your full
Yeah.
body. But then there's the external energy that also affects every communication. Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
get into that. And
I've
yeah,
muted so you don't have a lot of background noise, but I definitely did like
I know. Oh
that
my
sounds
gosh.
amazing. So this Friday, when is it and what is it and how much does it cost and how do I get into it?
Yeah. So it's this Friday. I'll put the let's see. Nope, that's not the right one. I'm going to put this one up there. So right here is where you can connect, and there's no cost to it. It has a value of,
What?
I know, it has a
Oh my
value of
gosh.
$300, but there's no cost. We go for at least an hour. I know an hour is for some people is all they can commit to, but you stay
That's
as long as
nothing.
you can. Yeah, well, I think so. But and it's funny because I usually would do it for an hour and a half, and people would stay up to 2 hours because they just wanted more and more of it because it's so powerful. I'm not one who says, here's the 3 steps to do something, or here's the 5 steps and go away and do this, and then you'll be a better speaker. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in giving people steps to do later because most of us don't
Don't
do
do
it.
it. Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
you learn more by experiences. So in the free class, I take people through these experiences, which will transform you immediately and give you tools you can come away with and use immediately.
Wow. So I'll be a different person on Saturday after doing this on
You
Friday.
got, yeah, Friday night.
Hey,
Friday
all
night.
right. Hey, I like it. And what time is it? When are you doing it?
Well, it's at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. So that would be 3 o'clock Eastern Time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So plenty of
That's
time to
doable.
then, go on and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And, I help people, some people ask me because I'm very high energy and so are you, but not everybody is high energy. And that's okay. I don't try to make everybody the same. I don't have a formula. I don't like formulas. A lot of speaking, coaching, it's a formula. But instead, what I am really good at doing, I'm very intuitive and I tune into each person and figure out what do they need to be more expanded. So it's not changing you, it's making you, but more.
Ooh, wow. Making you you, but more. That was beautiful. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am so excited. The link is going across the bottom because we're on amazing technology, but I'll put the link in the comments too so it's easy to click on. I will be there. 1 p.m. 1 p.m. you said on Friday
Yep,
in
3
Mountain
p.m.
Standard Time.
Eastern Time.
Okay.
Yes. So I know there's not as many people on Mountain Time, so I always have to give at least one other time because people go, what, usually, whether it's TV or whether it's, coaches or speakers, they always say Pacific, Eastern, and Pacific, Eastern, and
And
Central, but
Central.
nobody ever mentions Mountain. It's like we don't exist.
Hey,
The Mountain Time doesn't exist. But
I love the mountains. I'm a mountain girl. I'm on mountain time. We'll speak in mountain time.
there we
But
go.
we'll
Me
also do
too.
Eastern because that helps. That helps.
Love the
A lot
beach,
of
but the
people don't.
mountains are even better. Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
All right,
Well,
great.
thank you so much for being here today. And I like I said, I will see you on Friday. I am excited and we'll get some more people. Let's fill this up. How many is max that you can fill in your I know you do it's intimate if you're really connecting. So you can only have like 10 people, 20 people. How many?
20 is the most, yes, because I
Okay.
really do make it very individualized. I want to give everybody a chance to go through the exercises and then I give feedback. I have everybody talk about in the beginning what their challenges are with speaking, if they have any, which all of us do. And, come
Yes,
on,
we always
me,
do.
everybody does. So, I
Yep.
make it very personalized. So we want to make sure that I stay that way, that everybody gets value from it. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I am
sign up
so
today
very
because it
excited.
will fill up.
I am so excited, and we will see you then. I will see you then for sure.
Thank you, Nikki. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love the blue sky. All right. Thanks, everybody.